The Bluebell Railway is the nearest heritage line to my home, and I have paid several visits. Before closure it ran from East Grinstead to Lewes. It was scheduled for closure in 1955, before the Beeching Report, only to reopen in 1960 as the first standard gauge heritage railway that carried people, at first between Sheffield Park and Bluebell Halt near Holywell Waterworks, soon to reach Hosted Canes in 1962, Kingscote in 1994, and finally East Grinstead in 2013. My interest in heritage railways is purely visual. I don't know much about engines, but photographically they look and sound fantastic. This apparent ignorance may be an advantage for my photography and as an experience for a production like this. The objective is to recreate a trip visually and orally from East Grinstead to Sheffield Park, allowing time to visit the nearby National Trust garden. Over the years I have photographed many of Bluebell's engines, some temporarily no longer in service. Nevertheless, even with this lack of continuity, I have made sure that the train, regardless of engine and rolling stock, is heading in the right direction, that is, towards Sheffield Park, sadly rejecting many fine shots of trains heading the other way, despite sneaking a couple in, which I leave to your scrutiny. I spent time at Hosted Canes, in my opinion the best preserved station on the line, and have taken, I hope discreetly, some shots of the staff, where one seems to be saying to his colleague, "He is taking our picture." Sheffield Park, the engine decouples from the carriages in preparation for the return service. However, I allowed time to catch a later service and instead make my way on foot to the National Trust garden. It is not far. The garden is open to the public, but not the house. Over many years it has developed into a landscape garden featuring lakes and woods. Even Capability Brown was employed in the 1770s. Like the railway, I have paid several visits, the most memorable in the depths of winter when frost delicately coated the lakes with ice and angel rays magically appeared in the woods. Back at the station, the train was ready to go, but there was time for more photography, as the driver was still having his tea. Anyway, we were soon off after a very pleasant outing that featured steam engines and an idyllic garden. Not the most obvious of companions, but it would be a shame to leave one out.